Hi, Margit. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
um, I'm here with Margit Whitlock of Architectural Concepts Incorporated, and I will read her bio here. Margit E. Whitlock, AIA Lead AP, Principal in charge of Architecture and Interior Design, Architectural Concepts Incorporated, a San Diego, California-based design firm. Ms. Whitlock is responsible for creating the concepts that drive the creative process. Her professional experience includes all aspects of architecture design and the building process, including project programming and site analysis, interior design, custom FFE, art programs, construction documents, and construction administration. She is a licensed architect in the states of California, Arizona, New York, Pennsylvania, Texas, Florida, and Hawaii. To foster her passion about the built environment and her community, Margit is president of the San Diego Architectural Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. For the past 27 years, she has focused on resort and hospitality design and construction with projects nationally and internationally. Her project list includes hospitality, commercial, retail, restaurants, civic, and timeshare resorts. Ms. Whitlock is an accomplished speaker with engagements at multiple ARDA conventions, HD Boutique Show, as well as being frequently published in magazines such as Developments, Resort Trades, Hotel Business, Hiatus, Vacation Industry Review, and Resort Management and Operations. She received a Bachelor of Architecture degree from the University of Oregon with academic strengths in urban planning and design and extended studies in art history and architecture at the University of Copenhagen, Denmark. Welcome, Margit.
Nice.
Very accomplished. And also a DEIS student, not a D student, a DEIS student, as I am and several other people that I have interviewed went to school in Denmark, and a wonderful program that they have there. Where did you live with a Danish family?
I did, and then I moved over to the dorms because they lived so far away from town, so I ended up going to the dorms, which was really fun too. I had my own room and a communal kitchen. Met a lot of Americans, because they were housed in that one area too.
Yes. Yeah. And of course, traveled around Europe, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely traveled. I traveled probably for a good 3-4 months before and after school.
Mm-hmm. Which probably led to your love of hospitality, and something that we're missing right now during COVID and work from home. So how has that affected your industry and the hospitality industry?
The hospitality industry is in a world of hurt, honestly. I mean, a lot of our projects have been put on hold. They're contemplating renovations, but their cash flow has been burned. So I think it'll give it another couple of months and people kind of get over this and the things start opening back up, and then they'll kind of resume where they were. Even the large construction projects will take 3 years to realize they're on hold. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know I want to get traveling. I don't care where I go, but I love hotels. I'm not a big fan of Airbnbs. I do not like I'm probably one of the few architects that's not crazy about Airbnbs. I'm just like, I don't want to go to anybody else's house. Like, I could stay in my own crappy house if I wanted to. I want to go to a hotel room that has new furniture in it, new things. I don't want to be in somebody else's room. I don't want to get to know the people at the hotel. I don't want to have to meet people outside or be in a neighborhood. They used to Airbnb the place next door to us, and I'm like, I feel so sorry for those Airbnb guests, because if I was an Airbnb guest and showed up at the place next door to our house, I would be disappointed.
I had to get out of Dodge, and so my boyfriend and I went and stayed in a hotel for the weekend and basically just shut the blinds. We turned off our cell phones. We just like, forget it. We're just hanging out. We went to the pool and putzed around, and we went out for an outdoor dinner, and I brought a bunch of, we just had a little bit get out of Dodge.
Oh, I know. Yeah. No, that's what I did with going to the compound in Arizona. I mean, it's our friend's place, and it was just he and I, and there's like 3 Quonset huts in the place, but it's like I just needed to get away. Of course, it took me I was gone for what, 48 hours. It took me 18 hours to drive there back. So it wasn't much of a vacation, but it was still, you know, to get away. I mean, because I mean, that part just kind of drives me crazy. And you know, I do really like to travel. And, you know, it's like, I like to stay in hotels.
I love hotels. Flat out, love them, love traveling, love seeing new places.
Yeah. But of course, I used to even like traveling up to Sacramento to help write the architecture exam and just stay in the one place up there that's just, you know, it's one of the extended living places. And, you know, I just felt like I had a little apartment that was like, you know, and at first, you know, I never would, you know, I didn't want people in my room to clean up or whatever. Now, you know, I'm like, clean up. Clean everything, you know, make the bed. I mean, I'm like totally happy just to have somebody else make my bed. That's like,
Totally get it.
yeah, right. So what else, anything in the future works, or how do you think that it's going to affect the hospitality? And just as far, I mean, is there going to be special cleaning, do you think, or anything?
They do. They're already in it. There's special services that come in and clean, and the touchless, contactless agenda for all kinds of things, from the concierge to the maid service to the room service to picking up and grab and go food and not hanging out by the bar. Pulling furniture out of the lobby so that there's more space between people, rearranging meeting spaces, even though they're hopeful that they'll get some meeting space, you know, coming back. But you know, what I've really enjoyed is this resurgence of parklets. Like, just go down to Little Italy, or, you know, gas lamp, or any little corner. People have got little parklets going on. Everybody's eating outside, and it's great. Old Town is adorable. I mean, it's just like festive, and they got wine barrels and all kinds of things, lighting, and of course it's all like, who knows who put it up, you know, just like sandbags and extension cords, and, you know, you're thinking, oh my gosh, somebody is going to get hurt. But, you know, at least the city's like, you know, letting them run and go outside, and it was really a nice treat to be able to hang out in a parklet. So I hope they stay. I think that might be one of those things that actually stays, and maybe it's like a summer thing, you know.
Well, there are some inside. I mean, there's one in North Park. There's been, like, in you know, along Park Boulevard, there's been a bunch of
there's different,
yeah.
And then, but this new surgence of people taking over parking lots and their neighbor's parking lot, and, you know, their back doors, you know, whatever. It's just, it's cute. I think in San Diego, and the weather is awesome, and we can do that. So, you know, I want to be in Michigan and have a parklet going on here in another.
I miss like going to a pool. I mean, I've never wanted a pool more than now. And you know, it's like you can't go to them. And then I was thinking, oh, what about ocean swimming? But then there's all these tourists that are there without masks.
There's a lot of people at the beach.
Yeah. No. I know.
You know what's really nice? They have Taco Tuesdays at the Del Coronado, and they do it on the beach.
Oh, okay.
You can walk. You don't even have to get through the hotel. You just kind of walk along the boardwalk, and then they've got their bar, their outdoor food service, and everybody's sitting in picnic tables in the sand, and it's really cute.
Okay.
And it made for a nice night. That was, like, I think, my first time I actually went out to dinner.
Yeah.
And had that at a table. I had friends in from Arizona who were here to visit, so we got together. So it was nice. So things are loosening up. It'll come back.
Yeah.
You'll come back.
Yeah. The Hotel Del's nice. I have a couple projects down in Coronado, so I'll take people, if they're in town, I'll take them, you know, by the projects, and then I'll like take them, you know, around the Hotel Del, of course, you know. Of course, it's always, you know.
And they just finished their pool expansion, their pool deck. I think it's now back up and open, and with the bar up there, so definitely worth a visit.
Yeah. Okay, so what are your first recollections of experiencing architecture?
You're probably going to laugh, but I'm going to say the Jetsons.
The Jetsons? That's classic. In fact, We were just at one of my I'm doing this new house for this couple, but the person who sold the property to them, they basically did a lot split, and so their house was owned and built by an architect that's, you know, like here in town, and you know, it's kind of like this mid-century modern. And then he did a tiki bar, like the guy who bought it did a tiki bar, and so he had like this little what was the little boy's name? Junior?
I think so.
Yeah. So we had him in his little spaceship, and he had it like sitting there, and I was laughing, and I was like, oh, the Jetsons. But then I said to my client's daughter, right, who's like 25, I said, do you even know what that is? And she was like, no, I don't know that at all. You know, and then I was like asking the one guy who owns the house, I said, do you even know? Because I didn't know how old he was. But he's like, no, I'm older than you. I'm like, oh, okay, that's then you know the Jetsons. So what did you like about it?
You know, I was just so fascinated by these pod houses that stood on, you know, up in the sky on their towers.
Yeah.
Zoom around in a little airplane car. And all the little roads and then the little buildings and everything. The whole thing was just fascinating to me. And I was, you know, Jetsons came out like early 60s, so I was a toddler.
Yeah.
And that was just, you know, that and the Flintstones, I swear, you know, because I love cartoons. I mean, I just seriously love cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch cartoons. I just love cartoons. And so the Flintstones was another one. Rubble houses, you know,
Oh yeah.
I never understand how they could live. And it was just fascinating to me that they lived in a rock house with rock furniture, with stone this and stone tables and stone chairs and stone headboards. And it's like, how do they do that? You know, but anyway, the Jetsons, I would say, I love the furniture, the art, the whole funkiness of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The whole thing is just like, it's just so killer.
The kitchen.
Oh yeah, all of it. The robot, you know, cocktails, and you know, just the whole thing was a lifestyle that I wanted to live.
I know. I always laugh because, you know, it's like that was supposed to be the future. So when we were little, we thought, oh, okay, the future's going to be that. And of course, you know, like you're in architecture school. You don't, you know, maybe you do something like that, but you like look out and it's like, oh, okay, it's a tract house. It looks like it's, you know, super traditional, right? It's like everything's changed, right? We've got cars that are like, you know, space age. We've got technology like these phones and things, right? We have everything in this, you know, this phone. Yeah. But the houses are still, you know, they still want a traditional house, but oh well, you know. Sometimes you can convince the clients to do it. Right? I'm doing some spec homes right now, and they're pretty like transitional. Like they're not, you know, they're not space age at all. So I could maybe be, you know, contributing.
You never know. Just send them some Jetson videos.
I know, I do. Like
ideas.
Yeah. Well, one of the other projects is gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be more modern. One of the other houses I'm doing, so that's fun. So, were your parents architects or?
No, actually, but my mom and dad really loved to remodel. So I, you know, learned to paint and refinish furniture, and they were constantly remodeling and doing neat things. My mom had an impeccable taste, and she would do really cool things with color and materials and find hobbies and niches and just things to do stuff in. And yeah, so we would remodel homes. And so I never lived in a typical home. We always lived in some old funky thing the mom had to fix up, you know, and always in old funky neighborhoods. And so I never lived in a tract. I never lived in my whole life. I've never lived in a house that looked like somebody else's.
Yeah.
So that probably was a big influence too, that always making things, you know, there was always something to make, whether we're making a fort or, you know, or cooking or sewing or doing something in the garden. We're always making things. And so I think that one time in Toastmasters, you had to give a speech about who you are. And my speech was, I am a maker. And like, it's always kind of, you know, settled that it was interesting if you have to do some self-exploration. Like, I am a maker. I make stuff. You know, I like to make stuff. So
yeah.
So architecture definitely fits into that, making things.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So what are 3 classic buildings that you like and why?
That was a good one, but that was a good question because I really went back to simple geometry, the things that attract what I'm attracted to, line work or circles. Circles is my very favorite symbol. I mean, I doodle in circles when I just, I have polka dotted everything. I mean, I love circles. And so probably the Guggenheim Museum in New York City is probably one of my very favorite buildings.
Oh, yeah.
It's just an extraordinary building to view from the exterior and to experience from the interior, and just go through the circular gallery and then just sit in the atrium space and look up at that amazing skylight. You're just going in. And it's timeless. It's just timeless. Time would be my number one. The number two is the Trans-American Building in San Francisco. I just love that pyramid. I just love that building. And it's always how it just sticks out in the skyline, and it's so recognizable, and it's very much the symbol of reaching out to the sky.
Yeah.
And then my other one was, you know what, I love Horton Plaza. So like bit to be tied if they tear that thing down.
I know, I was gonna say, are they gonna tear it down?
They have development proposals to tear it down or repurpose it to blow out the whole interior courtyard and make housing and offices and other stuff, which I see the future here in retail. But Horton Plaza is a pleasure to get lost in, and I used to be able to go there and I had my perfect parking spot exactly where I needed to go, and I would over the down the bridge and over there, and people get totally frustrated and lost in Horton Plaza, and I thought it was a delight.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then the colors and materials of postmodern, I just think it's a treasure. I was hoping that the city would keep it as some kind of landmark. It's only 31 years old. I mean, it's not old. It is.
Yeah, it isn't old. When did they build it? In like 80, 88, 89 or something?
It just had its 30-year anniversary at the foundation. We were going to do something about it. Have like a panel discussion about the future of Horton Plaza, and we never really got it. But yeah, it's like last year, so it had a 30-year birthday. It's kind of a shame, it's so eternal. So you have to get in there and experience it and kind of get lost. And
yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things about it is, right, it's all open. So you would think that like with this whole pandemic thing that, and how the open malls are allowed to be open. And I mean, it's totally open, I mean, all of the atrium and center with the walkways and, it's like you can easily, move people around.
There's only like one way in and one way out from the public pedestrian way, at the end of the tunnel there. If there was a way to bring more pedestrian life to it, like creating some connectors from 4th and 3rd and but it's just all parking garage. That thing is just banked in parking garage. So that's hard, to kind of get through the parking garage to get to the center of Horton Plaza. But I'm watching the development of what goes on there for sure.
Yeah. And one of the guys that I went to architecture school with, who was actually over in Europe with, he was in the Italian program and I was in the Danish program, Duncan Patterson, who works for Gensler in LA now doing mixed use. I think he's head of the mixed use department, but he did the renderings for that, like when he was in school. He worked for John Jarity, like the summer. Yes, he worked for John Jarity when he was in school and did that. So I can remember one of my friends and I were down at the, kind of like the presentation, not the present, the exhibit that they had downstairs in the theater there, and then they had all of the drawings and the renderings that they were going to have at the to build the mall. And my friend was like saying, my friend like went to architecture school with us, and I and she said, like, Duncan Patterson, like, is that the Duncan Patterson that like we go to school with? And I'm like, yeah, I think it is. And it was. He just done it while he was in school, and now, I mean, he's worked at like several, he did work for John Jarity for a long time, and he worked for Snøhetta too in France. Well, like after he went for his 5th year. Yeah, he went for his 5th year of school. And then when we were in Venice, we used to run into each other at the Versatiller machine off of the traffic circle. So I'd be there with my stroller, he'd be there with his bike because he was like biking all over the place. And, and Jaridy's office was like right there on the boardwalk. So they were just, they would come down there to get stuff, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, no, that's Person Plaza is a great one. The Transamerica building, that's really funny because I think for every architecture student that was in school during, kind of our time in the 80s, it's like the Transamerica building was like, yeah, absolutely. Like you went to San Francisco and, one of the first times that I went to San Francisco because I grew up in Pittsburgh. So, it's, I didn't go to San Francisco until I was in architecture school in the 80s. So that was like one of the Transamerica building. And then what is the one hotel that's in Little Tokyo? Or not Little, is it Tokyo?
That's new?
No, it's older. It's a hotel.
Not St. Francis.
No, it's in, isn't there in one area there? I forget. And it's also kind of pyramid shaped as far as the hotel is. Yeah. I'll put it in the show notes. And the Guggenheim, I had never seen the Guggenheim until I went to the AIA conference a couple years ago in New York. And I went the last day, like right before I was gonna fly out. I went to the Guggenheim and I was kind of laughing, and I saw Marilyn Motinger there too, and Jack Barnes. Anyway, they had been at the conference, but I was like, you know what? Why do people are always criticizing the Guggenheim? It's like, oh, it's not, when they criticize Frank Lloyd Wright, they're, oh, it's not about it being a place for art. It's about being a place for, it's kind of like a testament to himself. It's not really, good about the, as far as like, looking at art and more about.
Oh, I don't know about that. When the circular journey drives you down, and that's the same way they set up the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The same way. And that is an experience.
Yes, that is. I went with my daughter in the 8th grade. Yeah.
Yeah. They take you all the way to the top, and you walk the whole journey.
Yeah.
So you don't miss a thing.
No. I was surprised.
You have to go in the wailing wall. You have to go in that wailing room and go cry your eyes out because the whole thing is way too powerful.
Oh yeah, it's totally intense. Yeah, I was surprised because the 8th graders were going. I was like, oh my gosh, are you sure that you guys can like watch all this? But they had learned about it in school. But I mean, some of the
but that was pretty graphic.
Super, yes, very, very intense. And yeah. But it's like a lot of them, went through like the whole thing, went through the. And saw everything. I mean, I had to kind of walk. I mean, I experienced things very intensely, so it's like
I had to read everything. Yeah, I mean, I had to visualize and read everything. So,
yes, yeah. We're very much visual.
Mm-hmm. That's how I learn.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, what do you like about being an architect?
I think the thing about architecture is it touches so many disciplines. And for me, I like solving problems. And so architecture is a problem to be solved. So when a client comes or there's an opportunity to take a look at what the needs and wants and goals of the project are, it's a series of solving problems. And then you get into all the different disciplines of materials and systems and technology and environment and sustainability. I don't think there's another profession that has that many complicated components. I mean, law, medicine is pretty difficult, but I mean, you just really have to know a lot about a lot of things. Anthropology, the study of the system, how corrosive materials, and I mean, it just goes on and on. And there can't be enough learning units in the universe to try to educate us to the point where we'll be. So, I've always just been focusing a lot more on design. Not a real production type person because I would just screw it up.
You wouldn't.
I just forgot. And so I rely on smarter people than me to do the production and the technical part of architecture. But for me, it's the experience, it's the humanness of it all, and getting to the end result, hopefully positive and successful and enriching. You know, somehow you've got to make spaces that are enriching and invite people to think or feel or whatever that emotion is that is wanting to be evoked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can't do everything, right? I mean, especially when we get to be the age that, you know, that we are with our own firms, you know, it's like we really need to delegate. I mean, I'm having people draft some stuff for me now, even though it's kind of driving me crazy, but as a sole proprietor.
Well, yeah, I mean, you should do what you do best in your business. You know, you do what you do best, and then you find the people who are, like I said, smarter than you to do the other parts. And you surround yourself with a team of professionals, and that's how you get these, you know, larger, more complicated jobs completed. No way one person can know everything unless, even in a small project.
We're always, I kind of say, you know, it's like clients will say, oh, well, do you know such and such? And I'm like, what is that? And it'll be like a color of marble. It'll be a color of marble at some, you know, supply place at that particular, I'm like, no, we don't know every single color of if you told me it was a marble slab, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. It's marble, right? It's a marble slab.
Right. I know what career it is.
I know where it is.
There's so many, you know,
and every single, you know, Caesar stone or every other, you know, I'm like, that stuff changes. I said that stuff changes like every year or two. I mean, we went to the Sherwin-Williams color mix.
Oh
yeah, you know, we were sitting next to each other, and you were, you know, or were you ever, you know, have you ever been to one? And I said, oh no, I haven't been to one, but you know, we actually picked one of the colors from that. It was Sherwin-Williams grayish, and then it's funny because I didn't even pick the colors for one of my clients. They were doing it, and they picked the color, and then I walked in and I'm like, oh, is this Sherwin-Williams grayish? And they were like, yeah, it is. It's like, oh, there you go.
Yeah. No, I always enjoy the color theory and the World Organization of Color and their predictions for the year and how they tie it back to some place, you know, like Madagascar. And it's all
Yeah.
I always love those stories and how they come up with it, but I am so glad we are out of the total black. I'm totally,
Even gray. I mean, I know I gray, but you know, my kid is like, you're graying up our life. That's what he told me.
Every architect owns about 9 pairs of black pants or jackets or black everything.
Oh, absolutely, all of them. Yeah,
black.
I do have like I have 2 navy blue suits.
I bought a red one.
All
once.
the rest. What? What was that? What?
You know, like color. If you look at where society is at and headed, you can see the color trends and the texture trends, and you can see how society's feeling. And I get that. So when we were in those recession days and everything was black or a shade of black, you know, it wasn't a spick of beautiful blue or green in it, you know, and things really in this last, you know, 5 years, you can really see that the color palette has started to change, and now you're seeing almost those 80s seafoam green.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Yeah, with the mint
coming back.
Yeah,
Peach is like hot. Peach, rosé. I mean, it's hot. And I'm like, oh my god, now seafoam green and peach.
I know, like teal and peach, and I'm like, oh my god, it's the 80s again. Yeah, so
yeah, but it was a happy time. So this COVID, get over it and get back into happy times.
Bring back scrunchies. Okay.
All I do is have my hair in a ponytail. I mean, I don't even know the last time I curled my hair. My hair is like down to my butt practically, and I just stick it in a ponytail.
Margit, I cut mine. I just cut it. I mean, I cut like I was gonna not, and then before I went to Arizona, I just like cut you know, I probably cut 3 to 4 inches off. 3 to 4 inches. It's still like,
Still how long it is, I know. Oh, well,
I know. And I mean, I don't color, so luckily I don't have to deal with that. But yeah, I totally did cut it, because I actually have a friend that cuts my hair. I don't even go to like a salon. She just, I mean, she cuts her own hair. She doesn't know how to cut hair, and she just does it, and she knows my hair and just cuts it. So, you know, but this time I just had to cut it. It's you know, when you have wave, do you have wave in your hair naturally?
a little bit.
Okay,
A little bit.
yeah, when you have wave, it doesn't really, yeah, it doesn't really matter. That it covers up a lot of mistakes.
True.
Yeah. So why, there was the fellowship question that I typically ask people, and then I'll kind of give you the option of whether you kind of want to, you know, talk about fellowship or just totally skip it, or do you want to say anything about it, or?
Well, I was nominated to be a fellow. I think I was in my early 40s, and I was one of the youngest nominated candidates at that time for the chapter, and a woman. So it was it was an honor to be nominated.
Mm-hmm.
And I went after it for like 3 years straight, and I just gave up because, you know, I wasn't 60 at that point, you know, and so I guess, I don't know, experience wasn't deep enough. I was already 20 years strong in the AIA.
Yeah.
I donated lots of time to Habitat for Humanity and Network of Executive Women in Hospitality. I mean, you know, my volunteer strength has always been huge.
Yes.
But I guess I just didn't get there. So I just kind of gave up. They nominated me again this last couple of years, and it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
I don't need an F. I can put an F in front of my name any day.
Yeah, we really don't want to get after.
Breaking Margit Whitlock. There you go.
I'm sure I will. I mean, because you have to be in it, right, for 10 consecutive years, which I only rejoined the AIA for like 3 or 4 years ago. So it's like that would be like 6 years from now, which at that point, I don't know whether I'll.
It was very
care.
I hired you know, a writer and put my whole life portfolio together and pictures and everything. It was expensive to do.
Mm-hmm.
Eat exercise, that's for sure, to kind of get your portfolio together. But anyway, congratulations to any fellow that makes it, you know, really.
Which topic did you choose?
Then my volunteer.
Volunteer.
I mean, my category submitted, yeah, volunteer.
Yes. Okay.
I had spent almost 20 years at the AIA level at that time, everywhere, at almost all positions except for president.
Mm-hmm.
And plus other things that I do for my community that are related to design and architecture.
Yeah. And I mean, you're president of the San Diego Architectural Foundation, which is kind of
right. Yeah. So
I don't know how we can.
on the board.
How do we describe? Yeah. How do we describe the San Diego Architectural Foundation?
Oh, I don't know. It's a fun organization. I mean, its mission is not about the industry and each other. Our mission is to educate the greater region of San Diego about the positives of good design, and to be engaged in your life. You don't have to be an architect to be engaged in architecture or environmental design, or have a say in what's going on in your community and your neighborhood. So really our mission is to facilitate the conversation. Like when something's happening, we just facilitate the conversation. We have great programs like Orchids and Onions and Pechacucha nights and lectures and tours and fun things and cross.
I miss Pechacucha.
I know. Pechacucha is just one of those things. It's you get everywhere from, well, we always have it at bars. So it's like 21 to 81 show up. I mean, there'd be like the old guard and the new guard, and they're all drinking beer and hanging out and having a good time and talking about, you know, things in the world and experience. It's always a fun time. It's always a fun time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's free. It's accessible. So yeah, it's you know, that's what's nice about it too.
Yeah.
And Orchids and Onions is going to be virtual this year, obviously, and that's on October 1st. And we got 101 nominations, which I was really surprised considering.
Oh, wow.
101. We guys like average around 100. We've had up to 100. We had up to 140 in the past. But so 101 was a good number and manageable. And we are partnering with NOMA, the National
Oh, okay.
Organization of
Yeah,
Architects.
with
And we're
Michael.
going to create. Yep, Michael just became the San Diego chapter lead,
Yes.
I guess, president of that board.
Yeah.
And we are going to do a scholarship fundraiser during
Mhm.
O&O to help fund NOMA's San Diego chapter scholarship program. So that's great. That's kind of a neat thing. So we're really looking forward to having more opportunities to share and work with NOMA and get a little more diversity. Architecture is not a very diverse.
No, no. I mean, and see, it's kind of funny because I was asked by someone to give them someone to have as the chapter of, chapter president, and I recommended Michael. Yeah, because I thought, like he and his wife, I mean, that they're just so, they're so great and involved in everything. And, I thought that I'm really glad that he was able to, to step up and do that. So that's really nice. Yeah.
I need to have a chapter here in San Diego.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Of course, he's also head of membership, so I don't know whether he's going to leave the membership at the AIA in order to go to. Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see who does membership now. So what would you like to say about the future of architecture?
There's always a need for architecture. Always. It's a basic need called shelter. And whether that's sheltering a home, a place of worship or education, or whatever, the shelter, the place in which we gather or live or under is architecture. And so the future of architecture is kind of a, I don't know. I think we have to learn to be more technologically advanced. We have to be more sustainable. So, thinking about the future of our built environment, it's going to need to use products and materials and systems and technology to create a healthier world that we live in and shelter with. And that's coming around, not just because of USGBC or the green initiatives, but a lot of manufacturers are really embracing the products that have a low carbon footprint, a low VOC, recycled content, innovative ways of taking their manufacturing process and making it less pollutant and waste. I'm always interested in any rep that comes in and gives me a great story about what they've done with their product to make it more sustainable.
Yeah.
And how can we use it and in an application. I'm always thrilled with those. So yeah, the future of architecture, maybe the Jetsons.
Yeah, exactly. I used on our edition, we used Sherwin-Williams Harmony, which is that, and I was like, wow, it's amazing. It doesn't smell. I mean, like, I have no idea, I don't know why it doesn't smell. Do you know why it doesn't smell? Why the paint doesn't smell?
It's in California, because of the environmental laws in California, you don't have the oils. Okay, so it's water-based, all water-based paints. And so they don't last as well, they don't scrub up as well as oil-based paint, which is kind of nice. But yeah, so they're taking these contaminated solvent type products and trying to be more, I don't know if the word natural is the right word, but combining these products that can give the same result without having them to be full of contaminants and petroleum and other things.
Well, it worked. I mean, it was amazing because I think that the USGBC, I think it's 3 weeks for like LEED. Don't they say it's like you have to paint something and then wait 3 weeks before you inhabit it for it to be?
Well, if you were doing same thing with carpet fiber, like carpet
oh my gosh, yeah.
Work. And so
yeah,
it's also part of that recycling process. They use a lot of stuff in the recycling process to make it come back to life, and there's a lot of bad environmental practices, honestly.
Yeah.
If it takes that much energy and that much goo to make something new, I mean, I don't know what we do with it.
Yeah.
But always intrigued by people who could take these, plastic bottles and make bricks out of them, like chop them up and grind them and, remix them with some kind of chip, and then they've got a brick. And so
Yeah.
those are always cool articles I like to read.
Yeah. Yeah. At Asilomar, I didn't do it when we were up there for the Monterey Design Conference, but because I didn't even go into the gift shop at the time. But anyway, when we were in there several years ago, when we went as a family with the kids, they had the made out of corn or something for like mugs.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of I mean, it's not plastic, but it's like they make
Mm-hmm.
a resin out of the corn. The only thing that you can't do is stick it in the dishwasher because it'll melt in the dishwasher. But but that was like amazing. Like I was just like, wow, like you can make this totally out of like a byproduct, and it's not a plastic that you're making. It's a natural material that's gonna make the cup. It's actually something in the gift shop that is made from that is a good product, right?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of ingenuity, and a lot of people, really smart people, are working on really interesting projects that way.
Yeah. Well, remember they had those things with the almond meal, the almond husks. Were you there for the Monterey Design Conference? The landscape architects that made all of this stuff out of almond husks. They were landscape architects, but they decided that are right there in Carmel. They did the landscaping for the roof of the Science Center in Expedition Park. Yeah.
I always love MSC. It's always one of my favorite things to do every couple of years.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be able to meet there again because it's every other year, right?
Every year, so I think we'll be fine in 2021, right? Did we go this? No, wait, we went last
2020. Well, when did we do? Yeah, October of 2019. So yeah, it'll be October of 2021. Yes.
I'll probably be able to go.
Yeah.
Oh. I hope.
That what?
I hope.
Yeah. You can just send yourself up as you can just, you have to. That was my first time going, but I'm definitely gonna go again if I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Asilomar. I just love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love the speakers. I love all the
oh my gosh, yeah. Well, the speakers, the
speakers doing it's just enlightening.
Yeah. And I'm glad I got to hang out with you guys.
Our little coalition.
Yeah. I know. Women architect time.
It was. It definitely was.
Yeah. Okay. Was there anything else that you want to say?
The last thing I just kind of push forward is that we need more and more people to be active in this evolution of our cities and our neighborhoods. And so, I would encourage anybody to, reach out, get out, speak, be involved, join a community group, do what you're doing, blogging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's keep the conversation going as far as our world, our cities, our neighborhoods, and how we want to live in the future. It's all positive. It's just I just want to engage more and more people so that they feel present in that conversation.
Yeah. I think that people, and have it not be an art, like this person from one of the homeless coalitions got into it with me on a Facebook thing the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, like we're on the same page here. Like, can we just get along? We might have different ideas, but I think we all want to, of course we want housing for everyone, that's not, I don't think that that's, a negotiable thing. Most of us, yeah. So I think we just have to watch the way that we, kind of bring it together. I would rather see more integrative things rather than putting a lot of architecture out there that's just for one, that's one type of housing for people that are, you know, it's like, I think that, you know, there's so much that goes into, you know, the problem of homelessness, you know, and that a lot of times we need to have housing, but we also need to have supportive services for that.
Absolutely.
And putting,
Yeah.
you know, 1,000 people in one area that are all having some of the same difficulties probably is not the best.
No.
Where, you know, it's like we don't, you know, we don't have these big housing blocks because they went up in the 60s, and we see that, you know, most of them were a big failure. You know, I mean,
Right.
yeah, it was a big failure,
Yeah.
and then a lot of
Big
them
failure.
are torn
Projects,
down.
oh God.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Are
It
torn
was a
down.
social experiment that went all wrong.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
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 But
And
how
so
do we
that's
do
why
that when we have a mass amount of people and a shortage of land? We have to go vertical, or how do we create, you know, spread it out like salt and peppers, you know, sprinkle it out?
yes.
You know, that takes a lot of vision and time and thought, and everybody wants an immediate fix. Like, get the homeless off the streets tomorrow. Where are you going to put them? The convention centers, you know, like
Convention center.
put them in the convention center. Great, put on cots. Who wants to live in a convention center? But I guess for
I know.
various situation, as far as the health, you know, health and well-being of these people, getting them
Yeah.
off the street, and then
Yeah.
giving them some services and some showers and clean, someplace to sleep. Great, but what happens next?
Exactly. Yes.
And so,
Where
and how do they?
Yeah.
Where do they integrate into society? Do they become functioning and you know, financially supportive in society? Are we always going to be taking care of them? I mean, it's a complicated conversation.
Yeah.
Everybody has,
yeah. Yeah.
and I don't even know who's got the right solution. Honestly,
I know. I mean, I think it's a bunch of different solutions. I mean, I don't, you know, it's like I would like to see more private partnerships go forward and do a lot of things that have, you know, that have housing for people that are most, you know, our most at-risk population.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And then also be able to have, and I'm sure that there, you know, that there are, you know, there's got to be somebody out there, you know, it's like, I know that, you know, oh, the developers, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, you know, developers have money. I mean, that's the thing with developers, you know, it's like.
And they want to make more of it. So,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
doing it for free is not their game, obviously.
Yeah.
You have to make it, you know, you have to make capitalism. So you have to just make it work financially.
Yeah.
And I think public-private partnerships are great. Probably the one way it's going to get done. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, and I told people like, well, right now we're at $600 a square foot for it, and how, you know, for right, so it's like
people don't believe you.
Yeah,
they think you're out of your friggin' mind.
Yeah, and they're
like,
like,
a client $500 a square foot to do your TI. He goes, you're out of your mind. You know, I'll do it, but he goes, I'll do it myself. Like, hey.
Yeah, let's go right ahead. Yeah, go.
Go ahead. Don't call me when it's all fucked up.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Exactly. I know, it's the same. They're, oh, I can do this, you know, but it's like, you know what, you're paying people to do things because that's what their worth is. You know, it's like, you're not gonna, like, I mean, you think, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't understand why it's that, you know, we can do it for less. And, you know, because we'll be our own, you know, we'll do it ourselves, you know. And I said, well, that's really you're only going to save, like, how much do you think you're, you know, I mean, how much do you know, right? It's like, I did my tile, I still had to buy the tile. You know, I did the flooring, I still had to buy the flooring. You know, it's the materials are going to go up. You know, it's like trying to negotiate with some of these materials companies for how much, like, I doubt if they're going to do it. You can maybe use cheaper materials, but, you know, it's like you can only use, you know, you can only do, I mean, you have to have something that's going to be able to, you know, right?
Yeah.
You know, so. Okay, well, we can't solve all the world's problems, but we can solve some of them now, right?
Only a few.
Yeah, only a few, yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, and I'll put a link to your website, and you can show us some of your great hotels and what your, oh, I know what I wanted to say. What is your favorite hotel?
Oh, you know, one type that I've always wanted to go to are the floating cabanas out there, like in Thailand, and we just go out on a bridge and then there's a hut in the
Uh-huh.
water.
Uh-huh.
I really want to do one of those. Totally. And just
And just check out.
and have room service. I need that really cute waiter like running down the boardwalk, bringing me my Mai Tais.
I always love because my parents went to Tahiti, and my mother, you see her in all the photographs, and she looks like she's really happy, and then she's like, oh, that was the worst vacation I ever went because of the mosquitoes, and I'm like, really? I said, you could have fooled me from the thing. I said, I'd like to go to Tahiti and just see how bad the mosquitoes were. I'll just like cover myself with DEET or something and mosquito netting. I just want to, but I at least want to get a chance to experience the mosquitoes myself. The one that I would like to go see, and I saw him speak at the CRAN conference, and I think he was in collaboration with a couple other architects, but Wendell Burnett did Amangiri in the Utah one, and I'll put a post in it, and that has to be like, I mean, of course, it's like $1,000 a night, but that hotel, I mean, if I ever get a chance to like stay in a hotel like that, I mean, it's almost like I would like, I always laugh and say, well, I'll go camping at the park, right, at the national park down the road, and then I'll just come like dinner or whatever, and then I'll go back to my tent. But but still, I mean, it's beautiful. I'll post it in there too. But yeah.
The other one would be that ice hotel.
The one in Norway or is it in Iceland?
No, it's not in Iceland. It's in Europe.
Okay.
It's the Ice Hotel, so it's so kind of cool.
Okay, so it's the one in.
I like fur parkas. I'm sorry, kids will probably get throat habits on me now. I love fur, and so
what did you say you were gonna
parka. I know, people that are just like, you wear a fur coat around, people who like throw stuff at you.
Oh no, yeah, well, it looks pretty good.
Yeah,
the fake stuff looks pretty good now, so you could probably wear them. My mother actually wore one to Denmark, because in Denmark, like everybody, right, they had the full length.
Everybody had a full length.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And it was, I mean, now when I went back, and we were there around Christmas time, like I didn't see that many, but there weren't that many people out. But yeah, my mom, like one of her friends had lent her it. She's like, oh, you have to have this, you have to take this mink with her. Of course, my mom was like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose this mink or something like while I'm there, but I mean, she did wear it and she was warm and
yeah.
Well, Okay, so you're gonna wear your parka. You're gonna wear your parka in the ice hotel.
Line parka and go to the ice hotel.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, will you send me the link for that too?
Okay, I'll try to find that one.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Margit.
Thank you. Really appreciate our time.
Thank you.
All right.